Welcome to Joy Connection, a time where we connect in conversation to help you connect with joy. We'll be right back.
It is my strength. I choose joy. With it I win. I choose joy.
I am so excited today for our next guest, Mr. Mark Stoddart. Now, Mark has a lot of things going on for him, but the thing that is the most important to me is that he's a Scarborough man. He's just normal. Mark is someone, though, in his normal self, because he just decided to do what he's passionate about, take his art and spread it. And now his art is in many places, including on clothing. He has been inducted into the Scarborough Hall of Fame for what it is that Mark does. I'm going to read it for you. An internationally renowned graphic artist, this Cedar Brae Collegiate Institute, yay for Cedar Brae, I didn't go there, but it's Scarborough. This graduate has never forgotten his Scarborough roots and his love for Scarborough. And you know what? He is involved in community things, and he's an activist, and he supports all of these different people and places in Scarborough to help people grow and live in passion. So I'm just excited to know Mark as a famous person he might be. He's my friend and someone that has just been a person to acknowledge and to love. So welcome, Mark. I'm so glad you're here today.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. This
Yes.
is definitely going to be a good time to have a nice discussion, of course.
Yes, and our discussion today is all about how you live in joy, fulfilling your passion. Now, I mean, you would say, I know when we used to, sat and talk, I asked about your art and you just like, I just love to do it. This is just what I do. And so how is it that you find joy in living your passion?
How do I find it? It finds me. I think it's for any artist. You got to find a tool or, I don't know, a device that kind of keeps you motivated. And I think drawing for me or being creative in any medium, it was an outlet.
Yeah.
You can get caught up in the day-to-days, and I felt like with something that I'm passionate about, of storytelling, and sharing that kind of knowledge to people, it just inspires me. It's almost like that's the dopamine that I needed.
Right.
That's the fix. And I'm always inquisitive to keep pushing those boundaries of my artistry and just seeing how I can connect with people and allowing them to react to whatever I create, right? Because with these hands, I'm just a vessel, right?
Yeah.
Just a natural vessel, and just tapping into that and just to create the things I think is important.
So these hands are telling a story through art. And these hands are not just inspiring you, but inspiring other people. But I think something that you said there is that it finds me, and that I just really get to be able to be inspired because I'm doing something. I think it's exciting to understand that when you are doing what it is that inspires you, it's going to inspire other people. When you're doing something that's life-giving to you, it's giving life to other people.
Yeah.
And so here you are just doing something you like doing, and it's making a big difference.
Yeah, I'm just giving permission for other people to do the same thing I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm finding purpose in that. And it's like you're saying, like my last name and the 3 letters at the end of my last name has art.
Art in it. That's right.
So knowing that was the pathway through my journey. And then my first name is Mark.
Yeah.
So literally I'm just leaving my mark wherever I go.
Right? He's leaving a mark through art because, people always say your name means something.
It does, exactly.
And people always say that when God gives a name, it's because in that name is your purpose to live out. I mean, one of my purposes is music and singing, and Shireen means my sweet song.
Oh, wow.
So it's really neat when you understand the meaning of your name and you live it. So Mark,
and wear it.
Mark is leaving a mark, not just about who he is, but a mark in this person's life and a mark in that person's life and a mark in society through your art. And you've turned that art into something that is now worn on clothing, but it's not just art. It's like you said, storytelling. It's leaving a message.
Yes, it is.
What has been some of the really life-giving messages that your art has left in people's lives?
Wow. Through clothing?
Sure, through, yeah. They're wearing it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of a timeline of my life that really was that impactful moment based on my.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. Well, we'll speak on that one, but even okay, I'll give you one that's recently that's just happened. I have a good friend of mine. Her name is Winsome, and she called me last week, and she just wanted to extend her business. She does massage therapy.
Yes.
And Diligent Hands.
Yes.
And she's good at what she does. And she just wanted to kind of push a little bit further in her career path and just get involved in finding influencers or celebrities to kind of let people know what she does.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm just always about encouraging and seeing what she wanted to do. And so her wish was two famous rap artists are performing today, Redman and Method Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so she goes, Mark, I would love to figure out how I can get massaging them. I said, let me see what I can do.
Okay.
And so from that, I just made a couple of calls. A good friend of mine who lives in Scarborough, Socrates,
Yeah.
he works with Meth and Red.
Okay.
And so I said, Sox, is it possible? This is her information. Is a way you can kind of make that connect?
Yes.
So again, it's all about relationships when you
Yes.
have with people. And so Sox made the call. He called me back, put me on to the particular person who's I think their tour manager, passed it off to Winsome. And now today she's massaging Redman.
All she had to do was ask.
Pretty much. You have the permission just to see your thoughts or what your ambitions are.
Yeah.
And see what we as a community can do to help it, right? And for her just to send me the photo today of him.
Oh.
And what's amazing with that is that I've talked about t-shirts. This year is 50 years of hip hop.
Yes.
And so there's a design that I came up with, that I created. And when Socrates was performing with Redman in his early 90s, when I was more involved with the hip hop scene, with doing all the graphic design stuff, Sox was doing stuff with Redman. And I still remember to this day, he was on Much Music performing in the same I'm Hip Hop t-shirt I did probably, 90, 95, close to 2000 kind of thing. And to see that visual, and I asked Winston to show him that image of him, the younger Redman, to now who he is today.
Yes.
And he's seeing the image, he just totally reacted to it. It's like he remembers. So art is all about those timelines, but keeping it timeless.
Yes. Because art helps you to remember where you've been and where you're going.
Exactly.
And art helps you to celebrate, right? It also helps to heal.
I agree.
I know that you have been, like you said, you use your art through good times, bad times, leaving a message. There's a lot going on in your life or in your circles in which, there are some things that have been happening. We are losing loved ones, or you're getting, hearing stories of things that people are going through. How is it that your art and your message through art is helping to bring healing?
That's a real good, thank you for asking that question. Because I am going through a lot. There's a lot of transitionings that are happening through the community of close friends. And I think I go back to, again, it's just networking and collaborating with the like-minded people and to use their artistic gifts with mine and just kind of merge how we can kind of impact not just us, but the community as a whole to heal through what's going on. And there's a series that I'm working on or been doing. It's called Flowers. And it's acknowledging people while they're living.
Right.
Right. And the loss that's been going on within our community, I wanted to kind of revisit it again.
Yeah.
And my young person, Randella J, is one of my right-hand person in a way that we're going to redo Flowers 2 again.
Okay.
And I think if we can kind of again, collab in the way of just really building that storytelling of healing and understanding, because we're all going to go through that. That's a revolving door in life.
Yeah.
It's a part of
life and death is just the bookends. Yes.
Thank you. And so, but within those bookends, the beginning and end, there's that dash.
Yes.
That mark.
Yes.
Right? Those are the marks that you're leaving with people.
Yes.
Those are impressions so people can remember, right?
Yes.
Like I said, two things are guaranteed in life: the day that you're born, the day that you transition. And so I think that we leave these legacy marks in people's lives to remember us by.
Yes.
It becomes something important. So through my artistry, that's visual, through Randall, through his poetry, these are things, they're legacy pieces, these seeds that people will tend to remember who we are and what we have accomplished and what we've been doing.
Yeah. And what we did while we were here
Most definitely.
to make a positive impact.
Has to be.
And to help people build on their joy connection.
Mm-hmm.
So for you right now, you're talking about flowers and leaving them while people are here, giving people their flowers.
Have to.
Well, right now you are working with different organizations to help them make an impact and give flowers. Like, you know, I'm going to refer to your sweatshirt and the Scarborough Legends. What is it that you're doing that has really been bringing joy to you as you work with community and your art is impacting community?
It's just, for me, it's giving, I don't know, I always try to teach the next generation
Yes.
in a way the things, just avoiding the pillars or the
Right.
pylons that I went through, right?
Yeah.
And just giving some kind of knowledge of that. And so just giving those kind of, I'm sorry if I'm trying to get my thoughts here, but it's just
Okay.
really giving them the tools. That's all I'm trying to do. And hopefully they avoid those kind of pylons along the way.
Yeah.
And we go back to again about
Or know
legacy.
how to navigate them.
Pretty
Some
much.
pylons we can't avoid, but
You can, but as long as I can give them that GPS of the navigation of try to get stuck into the highway, but just go this route.
yeah.
That's all I'm trying to do, right? And I've been doing this for quite some time, right? And so for me, it's just honoring, like I said, the Scarborough Legends about people who have made an impact with what I saw growing up,
Yeah.
and not getting the acknowledgement as they should, but they're still doing the work, the good
Yes.
work. So if I have a way of just kind of bringing a spotlight to their life
Yeah.
and giving some acknowledgement to that, that's all I'm trying to do. I think all of us have a unique story. As much as I'm getting that shine in a way of or the platform for that,
Yeah.
anybody can do what I'm doing. You just got to give yourself the permission to do it.
Yeah.
right? That's all what I'm trying to do.
And what is it that you're doing that you would say is something that you want other people to understand? Hey, you can do this too. You can do this too. What are you doing?
Honestly, I'm creating to fail. And when I say that is that you're learning through all your mishaps to keep doing what, because how bad do you really want it?
Yeah.
If nothing comes your way,
Yeah.
and you got to go through the adversity. You got to persevere.
Yes.
And so my failures are the ways of guiding me in the way that how bad do I really want to accomplish it? The naysayers, the people who doubted me, I'm proving them wrong. I need that kind of fuel to keep me going sometimes, right?
Well, I mean, you're in the Scarborough Hall of Fame. So anybody who thought your art or your way of doing things is not making a difference, they're wrong,
Exactly.
right? And so you've taken that art from paper to clothing to using it to community organizations to teach people.
Or sort of to somebody's home. It's
To somebody's home because they can buy it and put it up in their house and remember something of their history, remember something of a message, or, so you've used your art in all of these different spaces to teach a lesson,
Yeah, most definitely.
but as well as to learn and to be a springboard, because you just said you're curating learning through failure,
Yeah.
right? You are, you're being known in places like the Raptors,
Yeah.
right? In places and spaces like basketball and sports arenas. Spike Lee and Olympians, they're wearing your clothes or showing your furniture, not your furniture, your art on
yeah.
their walls. So famous people have noticed you, yet does that mean anything to you?
Still got more work to do. I think I just love doing what I do. And just stepping back, like the Raptors, like you said,
Yeah.
that opportunity to actually, the love of basketball, which anybody knows me from Scarborough, that was like, if it wasn't basketball, it would have been soccer. But
Yeah.
that was my
A
first
sport.
It would have been a sport, but to know that I pushed basketball as far as I can,
Yes.
and to now know, like, going to Sheridan College, playing for the basketball team, and now not playing for them, but graduating from Sheridan and now going back there as a professor is a full circle moment for myself.
Yeah.
But now to the game of basketball, to know that I can transferable energy like that
Into something
to
else you
something
love.
else. And so having my art now at the Scotiabank Arena
I know.
is pretty huge, right?
It is.
And so when I create art, it's almost like those are my children
Yeah.
being displayed somewhere. So that's amazing. So couldn't play in the paint, literally, but I'm actually painting to have something on the walls.
Yeah.
That's pretty surreal.
Right? Like sometimes we have a vision and a dream of what we think is going to happen.
Exactly.
And then God turns it around and says, but I'm still doing for you what you dreamed. Like your art is in this arena. Your art is actually going farther than maybe your basketball career could have gone. I'm still making a name for you because I'm giving you the space to make a mark.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right? And God's purpose for you is unfolding. And that's what it means sometimes, I would say, to walk in joy is to understand that through the ups and downs, no matter what my plan is, or God has a way of making sure that my life makes a difference, that the gifts in me are being used.
Yes.
And so what would you say to anybody that is uncertain of the things they think are basic and yet now they're becoming big things? What would you say to someone in terms of perseverance, in terms of passion, in terms of what's the message that your own learning brings to somebody else?
Again, it's finding that purpose. Like really look deep inside of yourself. Like really do some real soul investigation and find out what is it that you want to do. What is it you want to leave to this earth? I think at the end of the day, you want to die empty. You're not trying to bring it with you.
Right? Because you can't.
You can't.
Yes.
So I think the power of knowing that you have a gift, finding what that gift is, and share it to the world.
I've never heard anybody say you want to die empty. I mean, you hear people say all the time that, you're not going to be able to take it with you. But when you say you want to die empty, it just gives me that picture of, I've done everything that I was here to do. I've given everything that I was here to give, and I've completed.
You completed it.
You completed
that task, exactly.
And so, any last words for anybody who is listening to you and learning from you today? I'd like you to leave that now. We have a couple minutes for you to just share some last words, but also share where it is that people can find you.
Well, to share the world, to find me is my website, which is the www.liwi68.com, which is live it, wear it.
Liveitwearit.com. 68.com.
Yeah, so liwi68.com.
Yes.
Instagram is Stoddart, STO2DsART at 68. You can find me there. I guess what I would like to leave with somebody is, I think it's George Washington Carver once said that it's to, no one has the right to come into this world. No one has the right to come into this world or go out of it without leaving a distinct, legitimate reason of passing through it. Right?
That's amazing.
So it's all about leaving that mark.
Leaving that mark.
That is that purpose behind what you do. Those imprints, right? That's your passion. And if you can find that purpose and leaving those seeds of people to remember you by, I think that's gonna surpass you. So it's not about you, it's what you leave with the world.
Well, Mark, you have left a lot for us to think on. And even as I look at your t-shirt again, Scarborough Legends, we're always going to want to leave a mark in Scarborough.
Yes.
Or anywhere, wherever God has placed you, people. Live in passion and let the world know that you've passed through and remember you with joy and positivity. And just know, do what it is that God has put in your hands to do, just like Mark has done. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks. Appreciate that.